This is the exact discipline formula that brought me to around 20K a month at 17 years old. I just came back from Michigan Avenue. I was at Supreme. This is just what's left over. For my first point, I will say what brought me to the point of discipline that I'm at now was my environment over willpower. I feel like most people rely on motivation and things like that to get done what they need to get done. But in my personal opinion, I think it's your environment, you know what I'm saying? If you're constantly surrounded by distractions, whether that be your phone, people smoking, a girlfriend, or a relationship that's not beneficial, I feel like that it brings you down and it really limits your maximum amount of potential that you could bring out if you didn't have those distractions. I say for me personally, I definitely was subject to a bad environment. I say I definitely had a lot of distractions, things like that were limiting me. But when I changed that, i.e., I'll say putting my phone on D&D or putting my phone in a different room when I wake up early at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'll say I had to get out of a relationship that I was in that I felt that was toxic for me. And I also had to cut out certain friends that were smoking every day, pretty much bringing me down with them and just overall not benefiting me for the better. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like that for some people it can be hard, and I fully understand that, to cut out a relationship you've been in it for so long or friends that you've been in. Trust me, I know, bro. But this path, it's not an easy path. You're gonna have to make sacrifices and things like that to get to where you want to be in life. And I feel like it really does start with you and your environment. You know what I'm saying? You can't get better if everything around you is terrible. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I said, you know what I'm saying, like 4 times, but I'm trying to keep it all raw and all natural with you guys. And I really feel like that's something that would benefit you if you just change your environment and just overall try to make it to where it benefits you and not brings you down. And I think that brings me to my next point, to where I had a really big identity shift. And when I say about identity shift, I'll say when I was 16, when I was in my early 16s, like I just turned 17, when I thought to myself, I want to make this amount of money, I want to be really strong, I want to get shredded and stuff like that. Instead of saying I want to be, I had to start saying I am. You know what I'm saying? I am an entrepreneur. I am shredded. I am this. I am that. Whatever it may be, you could say I am a millionaire brand owner. I am this. You know what I'm saying? If you just pretty much change the way that you think and change the way that you think, I promise you, so much would change. You have to become the person mentally before you become the person physically. And I feel like that's a really important point that I have. Maybe the most important point that I'll have for this video. Because if you could change yourself mentally, and you think to yourself every day that you are the one, manifestation is a real thing. And eventually, if you put in the work that backs up the words that you're saying, it's going to happen. It's just no doubt about it. If you show up every single day, you keep changing your identity to align with where you want to be in life, you tell yourself that every single day, you don't let anybody else bring you down, it's going to happen, my man. Or woman, don't know who's watching this, but I promise you that, mark my words, if you show up every single day and do what I said to do, you're going to be straight. I mean, honestly, you really will. And that brings us to my third pound. Micro wins compound. And what I mean by that is, I feel like people start, they don't see results right away, then they quit. And that's why everybody stays mediocre or average. With me personally, I didn't just jump to be able to pull this out, not really care about this amount of money or anything like that. It took time, you know what I'm saying? At 17, I'll say I started when I was in my early 16s. It was micro wins. I used to wake up late as hell, probably 10, 11 a.m. Now I wake up at 5 a.m. almost daily. And I will say that was hard at first, you know what I'm saying? When I first started, I would oversleep my alarm. I would be sloppy to get out the bed. Or I'll say when I was going to the gym, so a day I would miss a day, or I wouldn't show up this and there. But over time, I'll say I got better with it, and I count that as little micro wins. Each day that you go to the gym, for instance, you're not going to see progress right away. You're going to be like, damn, I'm a little sore. I'm not seeing any gains, or stuff like that. But if you keep going and show up, eventually 2-3 months in, you're going to be like, okay, I got a little muscle to me, you know what I'm saying? Or if you have a job, think about it like this. You work at McDonald's or something. You work 5 days a week. The paycheck isn't going to be that much. You keep working and working and working. Now you got 4,000 or 5,000 in your bank account. You can quit that job and invest into your own business and pretty much multiply your revenue by 3, 4, 5 times. Who knows? But I feel like that's something that most people really need to work on. Pretty much just having that point and just taking it and just carrying it on and on and on. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these videos short. Once again, you are special. You can do anything that you want to do. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I got for you guys in today's video. I'll see you again tomorrow. I wouldn't tell you anything that I'm not doing myself. I'm pretty much doing everything that I'm telling you. So I will be posting a video again tomorrow and the day after that, and the day after that. Hopefully every single day I can help motivate you guys and get you to where you want to be in life. And yeah, that's it. Ciao.